one episode rule, a podcast about first impressions. I am Magpie, playing the game of the anime Cyberpunk a lot recently. Much improved. Also, still buggy as hell. Uh, something that edge runners didn't really capture about the ethereal nature of Night City's citizens.
I think they should have made what was the main character's name?
David Martinez.
Yeah, I think they should have made him T-pose.
They should have made him. They should have made him A pose when he was far away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they should have
just, kind of launch across the map sometimes, and
they should have acknowledged his enemy's ability to phase through stairs.
And also his pants should have disappeared every now and then, that kind of thing.
And also the fact that there is no non-lethal damage no matter what your weapons say. So anyway, yeah. This podcast is about anime. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves so we can talk about some?
Night City exists in the back rooms. I'm Blacklemori. I watch anime sometimes, but my main role on the show is to not be the one who watches anime. But the fact that I've been on this show for over 2 years now, it kind of puts a dent in that whole
Yeah, you're losing your outsider status.
You've kind of seen a lot of anime now. I hate to break it to you.
It's becoming a problem. I think I have to go into the brain erasing chamber again.
That's true. You got to get Eternal Sunshine.
Yeah, then you can come on the podcast fresh. It'll be great.
To experience the horrors anew.
Yeah.
Does that make Blackle the Ray of this podcast?
Oh my god, yeah, I am.
Wow. Anyhow. Looking forward to that. Hi, I'm Joey. I forced a friend to watch Kaiji today. It was great. Love that little guy.
When will God stop you?
Love seeing my beautiful boy on screen. But yeah, other than that, I haven't been up to much. Just hanging out, having a good time with my friends, That's all you can do.
Louis.
Huh?
Louis, it's your turn to introduce yourself.
Me. Okay. Hi. I got nothing. It's been a week. What do you know? So a lot of the same shit.
Sometimes we just experience the passing of time.
I've been doing this streaming thing on Twitch, but I'm trying to not plug myself, so I don't really want to talk about that.
Yeah, fair enough.
I could verify it. I've seen the streams.
I've seen the streams. They're good.
All right. Well, you guys want to talk about some news then? Because we don't have much, but we have good. So, I won't say good news. In fact, it's quite bad news, but it's interesting from a news perspective. Hey, how do you guys feel about Hunter x Hunter?
Never heard of that one. I have heard of one called Hunter x Hunter. It's pretty good.
I know no earthly facts about this media.
Would you say you're a fan of Hunter x Hunter?
Yes, I would say I'm a Hunter x Hunter enjoyer. Yes.
Like a big fan, maybe?
Are you a Hunter x Hunter enjoyer?
I don't know if big
because I'm gonna tell you, even if you were, you're not as big a fan as these guys, because reports of a new gang known as Ridon.
No.
Redun PMC, inspired by the Phantom Troop in Hunter x Hunter.
Okay.
They are causing chaos in the Ukraine. The gang first appeared in Russia, and its members have been spotted in various cities across Ukraine. They sport clothing with the group's symbol, a spider with the number 4, and have been brawling in the streets, causing public concern. Police have detained the group's ringleader, a 16-year-old in Dnipro, I think is how you say this, Ukraine's 4th largest city. There's more.
Oh.
There's juice. There's juice in this meat. Redun PMCs, which is, if you're unfamiliar with, is Private Military Company, which is a hell of a name for a gang. Migration to the Ukraine has sparked concerns that Russia is trying to influence the Ukrainian youth.
Wow. I mean, one of them is a youth.
And they say we don't talk about current news.
A 15-year-old girl involved in the gang stated that Redin is straight up Russian propaganda, and there is no Redin in Kiev.
Wow.
I imagined initially, like, not that this isn't like disastrous, but I imagined like a bunch of like people dressed up as Hisoka.
I literally, when you said the gang leader, I was like, oh, this one's definitely dressed like Hisoka. Got the
Yeah.
little teardrop tattoo
I
and
assume
everything.
they're all dressed up like this man on the cover, who is apparently the guy they're named after.
I
um,
mean,
I'll post him. I did not watch this show, so I do not recognize this man.
uh,
Oh.
is that
But
I think that's oh shit, I don't remember what his name is.
it's
Hey,
probably Redin.
Yeah, I guess. I don't. Fascinating.
no, that's Goku.
It's Goku.
Anyway, yeah, this is fucking wild.
I think this is the most.
This is one of the weirdest like ops I've ever seen.
This is definitely the most craziest one you've ever brought to the podcast. I will say.
Is it crazier? Is it crazier than the Filipino thieves operating under under Luffy and killing old people in Japan?
It's up there. It might be equal, but I think it might be a little more because.
Anyway,
I just gotta say, I think this is a bad day for me to go into the brain erasing chamber.
yeah,
You're gonna forget all about this soon.
So yeah, that's brought to you by
Didn't we make that joke off podcast?
by the Russian Ministry of Cringe Ops. Also, I'm bringing this to the podcast simply because I saw the headline and it caused me to stop and look. 77 Precure girls to gather in Precure All Stars F film in September. The only reason I'm bringing this here is because I did not know that Precure had 77 girls.
Okay,
and I don't know how they're going. I don't know how they're going to get them all in one movie.
Listen, as someone who has watched some Precure, it's like each show has probably like anywhere from three to six members. So and like, it's been going on for like 15 years now.
Yeah, these are like, what are these, like magical girls?
Yeah,
so
it's the magical equivalent of Super Sentai.
Like every one of these series is gonna have, I would say, probably four to seven girls.
Yes.
So and it's been going for like 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is the exact same thing that would happen if they wanted to make a Sentai movie and wanted to include like all of the.
But
like,
how
it would be similar. Well, there's just going to be a lot of characters that don't get a lot of screen time. That's the answer.
Yeah, what's going to happen is there's going to be a group shot of all of them, and then at like in the last third of the movie, and then they'll have a big fight scene where like each magical girl will get like one scene that will be like, oh yeah, they did the attack that makes them
no, fuck it. I want the camera to pull out like fucking Peter Jackson is directing. I want this to be the magical girl battle at Osgiliath.
Yes. Oh my god.
The fucking Pelennor fields are streaked with the blood of magical girls.
You see like 3 of them taking down an Oliphant.
Anyway, that's the news I had. Nobody brought anything to watch on the podcast this time, so they all by default voted to have the gun pointed at them.
He's loading the bullets right now.
I have loaded the bullets. I keep it in my desk loaded, right beside a bottle of bourbon. But so I need you guys to pick a number from 1 to 6.
17.
I have a suggestion this time. Maybe one of you could roll a dice.
2.
2.
All right.
I hate democracy.
Going once. Going twice.
Sold.
Okay. Sold. We're watching Shadow's House.
Oh, the hedgehog.
Not. I don't think the hedgehog.
Well, we'll never know until we watch it.
You know, man, wouldn't it be weird if your shadow cast you?
Those didn't look like hedgehogs.
They weren't. They weren't.
God.
Maybe
damn it.
maybe he'll appear later. Maybe he's the head of the
Maybe,
family.
yeah. I'm not.
He is the ultimate being.
I'm
Um,
holding out hope. So,
Who wants this blurb? Who wants a blurb?
not I. Not it.
No.
Nope. Blackle,
Blackle.
you were the last to speak.
No. Okay, fine. I will say it in a weird ass voice then.
You get one that doesn't have any Japanese in it.
Yay!
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Here we
Be
go.
grateful.
The shadows, characterized by
No.
pitch
Don't-
appearance
no,
and
do it right.
tendency to emit soot when agitated, are a family of nobles who reside in a colossal manor deep within the mountains, far from other humans. When a shadow child is nearly of age, they are assigned a living doll who acts not only as their attendant, but also as their second half, the faces they could have had if not for their complexion. Emliko is a cheerful, newly created doll who serves a rather soft-spoken master named Kate. Despite their difference in personalities, Emliko does what she can to carry out the needs of her master. As she learns more about her role and duty, Emliko begins to meet her fellow dolls and their respective masters and continues to know more about the purpose of her existence. Do not fret over trivial matters, says one of the rules by which all dolls must abide. But how could the ever-curious Emilico do so in the face of deep secrets that the Shadow House holds?
You see, you've made one critical error, which is if you actually wanted to be destructive, all you had to do is pronounce the name Kate like you didn't understand it.
Kate.
Kate?
It is Kat.
Kate?
Kat.
Kati, yeah. Yeah.
So,
this,
yeah.
This show seems to be geared towards a very specific kind of Twitter trans femme, but
I'm gonna say this is gonna be one of the shortest, weirdest synopsises that I've ever done on this podcast because we have we have 2 rooms.
yeah.
Yep.
We go nowhere else, and we don't do anything
Yep.
except sleep in a steamer trunk.
Yep.
Lament
It's a
that we
weird one.
cannot read all of the post-it notes left all over the inside of the servants' quarters, and clean up the soot in the other room. So we're gonna do it a little more seriously. Emiliko is the personal living doll of Kate, and we start our day with her when she wakes up in her steamer trunk and gets out very excited.
Well, no, there was a scene before that where all of the dolls were like created and they got these weird drinks.
Oh yeah. So there was a scene. I do not remember if Emilika was in that scene, but
think
I would
she
assume
was.
so.
Yes,
but,
she was because I remember seeing her weird hair.
But yeah, they take an oath basically to serve the Shadows House, and they drink and they knock back a shot of tequila. Anyway,
Yeah, pretty much.
it's probably some sort of mind control juice. I don't know, but they but yeah, she is Kate's, and she goes to be a servant. Basically, they don't give her any kind of education, which seems like it would make for like a bad servant.
Yeah, they don't tell her anything. She doesn't even know that she's allowed to eat, for instance. Like,
Yeah, well, they deliver like they deliver her like a loaf of like nut bread.
I looked at it and I thought it was some sort of hardtack. It looked like shit.
Well, okay, if it was hardtack, she wouldn't have been able to bite into it, but it could be really rough bread.
It looked disgusting. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Guys, I spent more time talking about the bread than the scene itself, I think.
It's important. It's important to talk
important to
about bread.
Important detail.
Bread is plot important in this first episode.
It is actually.
And she bumbles her way into her first day because she leaves with her lantern. She passes through a Resident Evil trap room on the way.
I thought that
It's incredible
I
what's
was like,
happening
wow,
here.
they're making some aesthetic choices here.
And this sort of reinforces a sort of steampunk aesthetic, but they're not leaning into that. They're leaning into the Victorian.
It's supposed to be Victorian leaning for sure.
But yeah, she just idly throws a switch on the wall, and it just sucks her onto the floor because it's just like a huge like ventilation chamber.
Yeah.
And you
Goes,
and you don't even see how she gets out of it. I'm just like, why is it like that?
I don't know, but it's very funny.
But yeah, and then she passes through a secret door into Kate's chambers because apparently all of the shadows have an ensuite servants' quarters for their own personal servant. And she begins to tidy up. This room looks like shit. Or rather, this room is finely appointed and covered in a layer of soot.
Mhm.
Because we find out one of the reasons they need these servants is that these shadows, who are literally black silhouettes who leave soot on things they touch, when stressed, tend to just emit soot.
Yeah, it just comes out of their top of their heads like a little steam.
It also looks a little bit alive because they sweep some of it out of the corners later, and one of it, and like a lump of it makes a break for it, and Kate stomps on it.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
So yeah, from this point forward, we begin sort of the loop of this, which is Emiliko cleans and Kate tries to get to know her to sort of assuage her own anxiety about having another person around.
Hmm.
She seems very reserved in stark contrast to Emiliko, who is very active and friendly because they're mirror images of each other. Do you get it? They're mirror images of each other. Emiliko dresses in a blue maid outfit, and Kate dresses in a fucking red dress. Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
like they are Shadow and Owner.
Yes. They are the same shape.
They are the same shape. They have the same hair.
Yeah.
Holy shit, this show's just the Golden Compass.
Yeah, except
What?
except Kate isn't a leopard. But, so yeah, some things that we find out throughout these conversations, which I'm not going to go over bit by bit because that would be boring and insane.
Thank you.
Like it's something that you can watch, but describing it to somebody would be agonizing.
Right. It's a lot of talking scenes, basically.
So basically, we start to learn things along with Emiliko, which is the nature of the shadows and the fact that they get their own living doll whenever they come of age, and they live apart from humans, and it's questionable whether they count as humans because
Yeah.
Kate doesn't want to answer that question.
Right.
Which is interesting because she could of course just be like, yes, we're just different, or no, outright.
Yeah.
So yeah, they go about that. At one point, Emiliko breaks some shit. It's just like, oh God, I'm so sorry. And then Kate goes to take a bath, and she's like, oh God, I gotta clean this up fast. And she knocks over a vase and knocks a bunch of water on the floor. She's like, oh God, what have I done? And takes her whole ass like dress off to clean it up with. And Kate comes back and is just like, clothes are not for cleaning.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, seriously.
And also she's like, you're supposed to be a reflection of me, so
You have to be
look good too.
Well, specifically because the shadows are outright pitch black silhouettes.
Yes.
One of Emiliko jobs is to literally be her face.
Yes, that is literally the thing.
Which raises some interesting questions
Oh, we'll
ab-
get to that.
about these people and like why they require living dolls, possibly to prevent them from going fucking insane,
Maybe.
from not having an identity. um, Raises some questions about whether or not how much of a physical appearance do you need to conceptualize yourself?
Right.
As someone who used to live with dysphoria, this is a strange question to answer.
Mhm.
Sometimes having a physical body is too much.
Mhm.
You know, I get that.
Mhm.
So moving on, yeah, they slowly begin to get on until just after that scene, Lego cannot get up, and Kate is just like, and she's just like, I'm permanently broken. I'm sorry, I can't serve you. And she's just like, have you eaten today?
And then right on cue, growling tummy
Yeah,
noise.
the anime stomach noises. You're like, no, I just had a little bit. I thought the rest was for you. Just be like, let me get you something. So she gets her a fresh loaf of bread, and it's just like,
Oh god, more bread.
more
This
bread.
one is
Bread is important.
noticeably nicer than the one that.
This one is a one standard Japanese round bread. They love to make a round bread in Japan.
I love a round bread.
I do
Wouldn't
love
you
a
like
round
a round
bread.
bread? A round bread? I would love a round
You know,
bread.
I've had a round bread with a nice crust on the outside.
Mhm.
You just break it open, get some hot butter on it. Yeah,
Mhm.
but
Those are just called rolls.
no, it's like bigger than a roll.
Yeah.
You know,
Giant,
Large.
big
Rolls,
large.
but it's in all caps.
roll.
A real yeast can of a bread.
And she says, I can't possibly eat this. It's not proper. She just be like, one of your jobs is is to be my face, and maybe I want to see how I look when eating something delicious.
Yep.
She's like reverse psychology her, because she's just like, you're gonna pass the fuck out if you don't eat something.
Pretty much.
And she loves it because it's not peasant gruel. To the point where she's like rolling around on the floor with glee, and she's like, will you stop?
Don't roll and eat at the same time, weirdo.
I forget at one point, but they decide that since she's done cleaning, that they should do some shit because there's nothing to do.
Mhm.
And at one point, Kate does collect the soot from the bag and make a soot man, which is pretty funny. But which it feels like a weird existential meditation for them, but
Also, it's
because,
like almost like the equivalent of taking someone's like dead skin cells. And
yeah, this is
making
the
a little
equivalent of
pie.
making a horrible little skin homunculus.
It's called fashion.
Call the dust bunny.
Um, so yeah, it's just like, let's play a game of cards, and they go to play cards, and Emily goes just like, I can't read this one. What does this one say? And this one and this one. And she's like, I see. Ignorant. completely fucking stupid. How about, I guess I'll teach you to read.
Mhm.
So she sets about it, teaching her to read until the end of the day. And some things about their relationship that have changed. Kate does not like to be looked at in general. Makes her anxious and thus produces soot.
Yep.
But she slowly produces less of that over time. And Emily goes very bold and gives her master a little kiss on the cheek before bed.
It was cute.
And she says, if you get up and do the cleaning an hour early, I will continue the lesson for the day. And she's so excited, she goes back to her room and she looks at the letters on the Post-it notes in there, and just says, I can see this one. I can see this one. Oh yeah, I get it, kind of get it, but it's very
Cloudy
hard.
drink kills frog. Okay.
Cloudy drink kills frog. And she passes out at her little desk and
Me too.
oversleeps.
Yep.
So
and-
So when she gets up, finally gets ready the next morning, she comes in and it it looks like Mordor in there.
The whole room is just stank with the bad vibes.
And my favorite part of this is Kate. Kate is sitting there. It's just like, it's fine. I'm fine.
Aw, she was anxious.
I'm going to take a bath. Try and clean this up. And she's a very good master, because she comes out later and she's just like, you've made good progress on this.
Mhm.
I know this is a big ask.
Yeah.
Um,
She's like, you're dirty, go wash up.
and they she finishes cleaning, then wash it up, and she's looking at her, and she's just like, you only washed the parts of you that you could see in the mirror, right? She's like, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't understand. No, and she's like, no, come here, let me just wipe off your neck. And she gets the idea, because she's like, I would assume Kate is like 13.
Yeah, something like that.
Something, they say come of age, so like I would suspect some sort of middle teenager, 13 to 15.
Hmm.
That's usually when most cultures are just be like, you're an adult now, which is too early.
And you can kind of also guess based on like what Emilico looks like.
Mhm. So
like that seems to be about the age, yes.
so she's just like oh yeah, Emiliko is just she's lamenting that she's so uncouth. And she's got such poor manners and doesn't wash properly and stuff. It's like, will I ever be beautiful like you? To a person who is literally a silhouette, which I think is very on the nose. And Kate put on the back foot. It's like, you can be made more ladylike. Here, let me fetch my makeup kit. Which, the fact that she has a makeup kit is very fucking sad.
But also, like, it's interesting because Emilico does have the idea that everyone should immediately come up with, which is just put makeup on the silhouette and, like, you'll be able to kind of see.
Yeah, this goes badly.
She doesn't like it.
But first of all, it's don't fucking touch me, oh my god. And second of all, it just sort of seeps in.
Yeah.
Their skin has got to be like soot.
Yeah. Which also like raises the question of like, why would they have makeup kit? But I mean, I guess it is just for the dolls.
This is why you use lotion.
Well, I have a theory on that, but we'll get to that later because it's outside the purview of the rundown.
Yeah.
But yeah, they sit there and she's like, come, let Kate do a makeover on you. I'm very skilled at it. And she's just like, we've done a good job here. Try on some of my clothes. She's like, I couldn't possibly do that. Kate wants to play with her doll. Like, okay. All right.
She puts the clothes on and Kate's just like, by the way, this is very illegal.
This is expressly forbidden. She's like, oh god, I'll take them off. It's just like, I see why now, though. You are designed to be perfect, to look like perfect humans.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much the end of it. They have that discussion about how Maliko feels bad about herself. She gives her a name finally.
Yeah, because we are calling her Emilico, but for most of the episode, she's just...
She has no name. She's a doll.
The doll.
Even the doll, if you will. But yeah, she gives her the name, decides to give her the name Emily, but decides that because she is so odd that she should give it a twist, so it becomes Emilico.
Yes.
Oh, it's a Pinocchio thing. I get it.
Maybe.
Perhaps.
Could be. Anyway, the final scene is she's trying to clean a spot off of the window, and she's like, "Isn't that outside?"
Wait, maybe not. Actually.
And she's like, outside, and she lifts up the window and to clean it, and she sees somebody else with their shadow and waves to them, and it zooms in on that person's face, and they're super evil.
Yeah, right.
The evil eye is real.
And then it cuts to the end credits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that was the most interesting shot of the entire episode for me.
So yeah, let's break down our thoughts on this. My first thought was, hey, this OP is a banger.
The OP
Yeah.
and actually kind of the end song too. They were very interesting.
I didn't like the end song as
Yeah.
much, but I liked the animation in both, and I really liked the OP song.
The OP was really, really good, actually.
Everything looks nice. There's not a lot happening on screen.
No.
I hate with a capital H the art style in this show.
Okay, elaborate.
Ooh, strong
I think
feelings.
it's just that I'm just so sick of this like milquetoast, like completely uninspired like anime style of just like all the lines are the same thickness. Like everyone looks kind of like a stock character. All the environments don't really have anything interesting going on. Like everything's detailed at the same level. Like nothing is really being called to your attention. I think the thing that really struck me was that if I were to describe the fact that the silhouettes blend in the background, it sounds like it'd be kind of a cool effect, but in actuality, it's just because the backgrounds are busy and the silhouette is just like hard to like parse out, and like it's just like I was watching it the whole time and I was just thinking like, wouldn't it be so much nicer if this was a little bit more stylized and the silhouettes like had a little bit of an outline around the very edges of the silhouette just to like distinguish it from the background
pop
a little bit more.
more.
And like there's just so many different like ways that you could probably make this show look a little bit better, and they just didn't take any of it because it probably would have been harder to make. And like
I'm telling you right now, that is a artifact of the modern anime production pipeline, which
just
is
because
we will
there
pay
are capitalist reasons for this to be a thing doesn't mean I can't not like it. Like
we will pay 8 people to do the work of 20.
yeah.
I almost thought they were doing it that way a little bit on purpose, but I do think I agree with you in that, like, I think it could have been done better because I think they were trying to make it hard to read.
If I had to fix it, if I had to go armchair anime director, I think I maybe would have lowered the contrast on the backgrounds.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
'Cause I think that you can still do the like it's a little hard to read the shape, but I think that I agree the backgrounds were a little too busy sometimes.
I don't think they were too busy. I think I really think that all they needed to do was to make sure that Kate's skin was the darkest thing on screen at all times.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yes. Because there were scenes like where everything in the room is like only a shade, like an inch lighter than what she was, and I was just squinting, just trying to like parse. And
if you're gonna do that, you need to make the shadows the exact same black, so that you do a really like interesting compositional thing, which is a real shame. Because I love a silhouette person.
Yes.
Yeah. I think it would have been cool because you can make a silhouette that's hard to read simply by virtue of it not being posed properly.
Right, exactly.
And so it would have been cool if they like sort of played with the sort of like if they wanted a scene where like you can't really tell, because there's sort of like an Eldritch kind of like sort of
a bit of that quality to this show.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. And so like you could have it where like the first couple scenes of this person, you like see them at awkward angles, and like even though the silhouette is like well distinguished from the background, it's just the angle doesn't make it clear like their facial expression or anything like that. And then over time you see them in profile more and see like their facial expression more in profile.
Which again, I think that is absolutely what they were trying to do. I just don't know that they 100% got there.
No, I found it very frustrating to watch because it was like.
So that's our thoughts visually. I have to say, narratively, okay, an episode of an anime where you have 2 rooms and everything is a conversation between a master and servant can be fucked up and boring. It didn't bore me.
It didn't bore me either.
But it's because in every one of those paragraphs of conversation, they would drop a little hook for something weird that would make you go, "Hey, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Hey, what are you talking about? What do you mean? What the fuck do you mean?"
Definitely, like this show's like strong point is they've got some really interesting world building going on here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they're feeding it at a good speed in like that keeps you like from getting too
from
bored, I
tuning
think.
out too
Yeah.
much.
Okay, I think the thing was that there was this like I think twice, I think in the OP and then I think randomly like at the beginning or something there was a shot of this train in the mountains or something.
Mhm.
And like this is only for like the 0.01% of people, but it made me feel the same way that Cry of Man made me feel.
Okay.
I wish this show made me feel something.
I'm so sorry.
I don't know what you mean, but also I did take note of that train being a fucking backwards driven train, which is very weird.
It is weird.
Yeah, the engine is at the back and the front is just an open car.
Something really weird is happening in this world, and
Mhm.
The shadows live away from normal people.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Um, they have weird trains up there.
Yeah.
So yeah, Louis, you didn't seem to enjoy it.
Nah, I mean, it's not like it was bad or anything. Like Blackwell said, it probably appeals to a very specific sect of like people on the internet, and I just
You might not be in that subsect.
yeah, it's just
I'm not too sure if I am either. But like, I don't know.
I don't know, like narratively, like it's okay, I guess. Like if you're into that, like, is it okay to call it like a dom sub relationship? Like,
I don't.
Actually, I do want to talk about the like ethics or morality.
They're really
of this.
stinky.
The master servant relationship here.
Because
Yeah.
like this is not only like a master servant relationship, but this is someone they created with the express purpose
Right.
of
Yeah,
being that.
they have made a servant.
Yes.
and I wouldn't be too surprised if one of the like themes of the show as it goes on is like what is individuality and like all that. But
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it has much of a. I don't know if Kate and Amaliko's relationship has much of a dom sub vibe to it.
yeah, dom
No, I don't
dom
think so.
sub wasn't the right term.
Yeah.
Master servant's better.
Because
I blanked.
because Kate is too reserved to take on a master role.
Well, like it feels more like they're
You know what it feels like?
a little bit from each
Feels
other.
like a slow burn AO3 fic.
A little
Yeah.
bit, yeah.
Oh, it's older than that. It feels like something that would have been written by somebody in the era of like fucking Dumas about a noblewoman unburdening herself to her chambermaid.
Right.
I'm just like,
Right.
wow, this is kind of an ancient dynamic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting to
This
me.
is kind of Rose of Versailles adjacent. What the-
Yeah, it's a little fucked up, but I can't say I'm not interested.
So yeah, getting to that part is would you watch another episode of this? I would watch another episode of this.
I think I
Nah.
do want because this show's got me curious, Liz.
I
Like,
want
they
to
gave
show
me the
this
hooks.
to. I don't personally want to watch another episode, but I do want to show this to my girlfriend because I feel like she'd get a kick out of it.
You see, I figured this would be Blackle Food because I turned it on and saw a maid.
No, I like enthusiastic consent in my shows.
Mhm. It's I'm gonna give it a pass, but I respect it. I can see why it's some people's thing.
Mhm.
You respect the hustle, the maid hustle.
Yeah,
I
it's just
need
not me.
some really weird and evil, fucked up shit to happen in this. That's what I need.
From what I can tell, that seems to be it. I put this in because I saw an announcement for a season 2 of this, and I saw a
Yes.
really weird fucking trailer.
Oh.
But yeah. Anyway, if you would like to reflect us as a mirror, you could do that at oneepisodecast@gmail.com.
That is 1 the word, not the number. Don't do that. That's really creepy.
I will say that if you choose to become my shadow, I must strike you down.
Kill your double. Anyhow, you can kill your double at 1 episode cast on Twitter. PvP us, please.
People would just be like, "Hey, would you fuck your clone?" It's like, absolutely not. We would be fighting to the death. Only one can
Can't-
remain.
Can't do it.
It is a shame that I feel like there was a budgeting concern or something, and they couldn't spend
for
too
sure.
much time on fucking pre-production to solve problems like the one me and Black just like pointed out, which is she doesn't stand out from the background enough, and she doesn't blend in enough either.
Yeah.
She's somewhere in the middle, and it sucks.
Yeah. But
Because they can
I
do
think I had slightly less strong feelings about that than y'all.
I think
but
it's
I don't
just
know.
that I'm sick of this style of animation.
well,
I want something more stylized than this garbage.
well, yeah, because it's been 13 years of it.
I know. Yeah.
And even if it looks nice and clean and there's no JPEGs of fruit in the background,
that show is never living
it
that down.
it starts to wear on you.
Yeah.
You just know that when you see fucking JPEGs of fruit in the background, there was an awful day in this.
Oh yeah, it was
No,
a
I
bad
get
one.
excited
we
to
have
see
to-
that because
we
I'm
have
like,
to get this
ooh.
episode out today. And no one's going home until this is out.
Jojo, is it the same feeling I get when I see like a really fucked up glitch in like
Yes.
Cyberpunk or New Vegas, where I'm just like,
Mhm.
yeah.
You're just like, yes, it's doing the thing.
Oh,
Oh,
the
it's so
fruit-
terrible. Rubs my
Reality
little
is
hands
breaking
together.
down.
He is merely asleep, the game says, as you look at someone's naked spinal column.
He's fine.
Anyway, see you guys next week.
We're going to away.
We're going